And as you consider dry January, or maybe even are struggling with the concept here into week 2 of the month, it is important to show yourself some grace. So this morning we have brought on one expert to share not only some benefits maybe of sobriety, but also mechanisms that can help you get to that January 31st. So we have Director of Therapist Experiences at Terrace House Counseling, Catherine Viscaroni. She's joining us live with more on. Catherine, it can be a tough conversation for some.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's so much that's wrapped up in the idea of sobriety because of the social push.
Yes.
Especially being in St. Louis, we're a beer town.
Yes.
This is what we do.
Exactly. So even seeing Malik at a brewery kind of showing, hey, you can still be out here, show your support. But let's first start with, it's the new year, it's 2023, and I'm very interested to hear what you have to say this because it's a difference between intentions and resolutions.
Yeah, to hold on to that idea for a moment of the social pressure, the new year has such implication of change.
Yes.
There's this idea of a new year, new me. We're supposed to move into something different, and we can so often get trapped in this idea of goal setting, really specific. I have to reach this, I have to do this thing.
Yes.
If we're able to shift our mindset a little bit from this idea of resolution into intention, we're able to give ourselves a little bit wider of a breath of how we move into this idea of change, of what we're doing with a framework of longevity tied to it. What is it that we're trying to cultivate for ourselves as opposed to what certain specific thing are we trying to get rid of or add in, and thinking really about this larger idea of building a life of choice.
And I especially like that because that probably makes it a little bit easier to follow some of these goals you set for yourself. If you think about, why am I even doing this?
Yes.
Which brings us to this. What does it really mean to be intentional then?
The why is so important. If we're thinking about these really specific goals, it's like, what do you do once you hit that? What comes next? So if we're thinking about intention and bringing a sense of intentionality to what we're doing, there's this depth of exploration that's tied to that. This sense of, well, where am I starting and where am I trying to go? What do I do around my context and my environment, my peers, my relationships to help guide me into that space? There's a much wider view that we're bringing to it as opposed to this kind of like tunnel vision, I have to get here by all means necessary.
Yes. This is not just a goal you're checking off, trying to get it done.
Totally.
And I imagine that helps even with habit building.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to some of those habits, we have some people maybe trying to kick alcohol for this month. Talk about just what dry January can be for that self-discovery.
Totally. I mean, if we even just sidestep all of the physical benefits of giving ourselves a little bit of a break from alcohol for a while, moving into a practice like dry January gives us some structure around building this intentionality. I'm making this choice to do this, I'm figuring out how to support myself through this, and I'm giving myself the space throughout this month to kind of check in on what this feels like. What am I noticing for myself around cravings that are coming up? How am I recognizing my feelings around different experiences when I'm going out to socialize with my friends, when I'm staying home? Where am I noticing that some of these drives or desires for alcohol might be coming up? And what does that then mean for me around my relationship with alcohol, with my body, with myself, with my friends, and all of these different pieces that we're able to then circle back into that larger idea of building, life of choice for ourselves.
And I know, real quick, one thing you had mentioned was it might not be for everyone.
Totally. There's so much nuance to every choice that we make, to the human experience in general. And I really think this important concept in being intentional is checking in with ourselves.
Yes.
And, if we commit to a dry January and get a week into it, that's beautiful. If we get, a few days into it, if we make it through the whole month, all of that is still valuable in building a deeper connection with ourselves and having further understanding of, how we're showing up for ourselves and what we're needing. And I think that gentleness that we're bringing to ourselves that you mentioned is really important.
Yeah, it just kind of helps you grow even further. I know, and it really does depend on the person. A lot of people, they have that anxiety. I know I'm just trying to step away from alcohol in general and seeing that connection with mental health. So it's a wonderful time, the start of the year, to do that self-discovery and that reflection, whatever that might be.
That's evolution.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us. You can take a look at your screen here for further information about Terrace House, their location, their number, as well as their website, how you can find them on social media, all of the things, because of course there's so much more to learn. So you're going to want to give them a call, give Catherine a call as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.